Welcome to LatiNation, celebrating your generation from coast to coast. I'm your host, Humberto Guida. And let me tell you, it's becoming easier and easier to find stories of folks who are speaking their minds and focusing on positivity. That's what LatiNation is all about. Now, kicking off today's show is an icon, a legend, an influence on my life, and an all-around positive guy. He is Cheech Marin, half of the pioneering act Cheech and Chong. Now, while Cheech launched quite a career as part of the first Chicano hippie comedy act to have a platinum-selling comedy album, not that there's a lot of those, he has also gone on to becoming a respected actor and humanitarian. But it's his art collecting that is really driving him these days. You see, Cheech has what is believed to be the most significant collection of Chicano street and fine art in the world. And he gives us a sneak peek at his prized possessions right here, only on LatiNation.
Well, Chicano art is the art that started in the late 60s as an adjunct to the Chicano civil rights movement, and it was the visual face of that whole movement. And then it started, at first it was a political movement, and hence the political art was foremost. And then as each individual artist discovered their own style, it kept going. But it is a description of a community, and not in just one style of painting. There's a lot of styles of painting, but it's when you put all these different viewpoints of what the Chicano community is, you get this 360 of you get the sabor, you get the flavor. They were all either university and or art school trained, every single, with very few exceptions, all the artists in my collection. And so they were influenced by world art. They were influenced as much by Rembrandt as they were, anybody else. And so when you put those things together, you get this very well-informed and sophisticated art that has a cultural background. As soon as I discovered these artists, like, oh, I relate to this. And this is, I not only related to it because it was Chicano art or Latino or Mexican influence, but because it was good. And I knew what good art was, and I'd been seeing great world art all my life. I went to museums, took out all the books. Every chance I got, I would go and look at David or Toulouse-Lautrec or whoever. I was very well versed in art. I knew what it was. So when I discovered discovered these painters, these guys are good. They can play. They can put the paint on canvas. Because I knew what it was. And so I started collecting, and being an inveterate collector, it's an addiction. Hi, I'm Cheech Marin, and I'm an addict, and collecting all this art. And so I just started, and I was at the right place at the right time. I was the guy that knew what the art was, had the money to collect it, and I had the celebrity in order to promote it. And so I just started gathering his art. Sometimes when I knew the artists and their work, I would just buy them off slides. They would send me pictures. Oh yeah, I see how that's going. And I would buy them and send them to storage. And they would never be up. And so a lot of my friends in the art community started saying, hey man, you got this big collection, you got to show it. Oh really? Well, how do you do that? Well, I know a couple museum guys. And so that started that process. And from the time that started to the time we hooked up LACMA, which was the end of the Chicano Vision story. That was 10 years. And it's a long process, and the wheels in the art world grind very slowly, because it's the final imprimatur of cultural acceptance. Here's the official version. This is what the picture looks like, and it's going to go in our museum, and anytime, night or day, all year round, you can go and see it. And that's a very important milestone in cultural acceptance. Because I don't know if there's any museums dedicated to the art of the deal, but I know there's a lot of museums that recognize Chicano art now.